Welcome to our third webinar series, which is organized to commemorate India's 75th year of independence. The program is structured and planned by Regional Center for Biotechnology as a part of DBT Science Setu program. Today's webinar is presented by our young MSc students, Biplab and Chavi. They will showcase the life and journey of eminent women scientist, Dr. Janaki Amal. Post this presentation, we will take you through a tour of RCB facilities and the campus. If you have any question answer, Dr. Deepthi would be there to answer.
Not me, Anil.
Anil, yes, Dr. Anil would be there to answer. Now, without further ado, let's invite our team for the presentation. Biplab, please join.
Yeah. Can I have to say something? What I have to do?
That
You
is
can
the
start.
rehearsal. Yeah.
Yeah. क्या करना है?
Start करो.
Prepare a
We can-
script for this.
Abhi start kar.
Okay, if Chavi wants to say something.
Okay, so as a part of the Science Setu webinar series being organized by RCB, today we will showcase the life and work of Dr. Janaki Amal, an Indian botanist and cytologist who contributed to the study of sugarcane. She is also known for her contribution to phytogeography and India's ethnobotany. So let's begin with the presentation. Biplab, you can start.
Yeah. Okay, then I have to start the video.
Who doesn't like to start their morning with a hot cup of tea to feel all rejuvenated, refreshed? I think most of us do. The reason that our tea tastes sweet is because of the sugarcane grown by an Indian sugarcane farmer. There was a time when India had to import sugarcane from Indonesia, and it was only in the 1900s that the Indian freedom fighter Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya suggested that India should do botanical work to improve their own varieties of sugarcane, which subsequently led to the establishment of the Sugarcane Breeding Institute at Coimbatore. The institute was trying to sweeten the indigenous varieties, and it was with the help of an Indian woman scientist and expert cytogeneticist that they were able to achieve their goal. By manipulating polyploid cells through crossbreeding of hybrids, she was able to create a high-yielding strain of sugarcane that could thrive in Indian climatic conditions. So the next time you use a spoonful of sugar and enjoy sugarcane juice to beat the heat of the summer, you know who to give credit to. The pioneering female botanist of India, Janaki Amal.
एक minute, can I read the whole thing about the disclaimer? एक second. विप्लव वो disclaimer का text पढ़ लें क्या?
Unmute करो.
अब वीडियो कौन चला रहा है?
Let us choose for ourselves our path in life and let us try to strew that path.
गौरव एक बार थोड़ा वो disclaimer वाला slide में पूरा पढ़ नहीं पाई.
Can I share it from my screen? So I can control them.
So effectively we can't say anything much right now.
You're live right now.
Dr. Janaki Amal truly personified these words through her life. She was one of the first women scientists from India who made significant contributions in the fields of cytogenetics and phytogeography, and even has a flower named after her. She was a pioneer who has come to inspire generations of female scientists in India. Through her mettle, she fought against heavy odds in an area where women had seldom presence. Her life is indeed a glorious chapter of women liberation and empowerment in post-colonial India. It's an honor for us to be able to celebrate the life of this extraordinary woman because she truly left a mark in the pages of history by her seminal contribution towards various fields. The journey that she undertook in the early years of 20th century was something that women of the time could only dream of, and therefore her story deserves to be told. Janaki Amal was born in Tellicherry in Kerala on November 4, 1897. She was the 10th child of Srimati Devki and Sri E.K. Krishnan, who was a sub-judge of the Madras Presidency. She was born in an era when most Indian girls were not even sent to school and women were discouraged from pursuing their professional interests. However, she was lucky enough to be born in a family which was open-minded and wanted her to engage in intellectual pursuits. She developed an affinity towards natural sciences, and her desire for learning based on keen observation was passed on to her by her father, who himself was very close to nature and even wrote 2 books on the birds of North Malabar region. Janaki completed her schooling from Sacred Heart Convent School in Tellicherry and developed an early interest in botany. Then she moved on to Madras, where she obtained a bachelor's degree from Queen Mary's College, followed by an honours degree in botany from the Presidency College in 1921. While at the Presidency, she developed a keen interest in cytogenetics as well. After her graduation, she taught for some time at the Women's Christian College Madras before winning a scholarship to the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. And in 1924, this Malayali lady, dressed in a sari, set sail across the seas to a land that she had never seen before. Born in colonial and patriarchal India, Janaki had to face many hurdles of her own. At a time when the literacy rate among women in India was less than 1%, she chose a life of scholarship over matrimony and went to the University of Michigan, where she completed her master's in 1925, followed by a PhD in 1931, again as the first Oriental Barber Research Fellow, thus becoming the first female doctorate in botany from an American university. Her thesis was titled Chromosome Studies in Nicandra Phyceloids. Janaki spent 2 stints in Michigan, first as a recipient of the Barber Scholarship for Oriental Women in 1924 and later as a Barber Fellow in 1928. This fund was raised by Lewis Barber in 1917 to train women from Eurasia with the intention that after their study, they can return to their home countries with the knowledge and skills that they obtained in order to improve the lives of people back home. It was a very competitive scholarship and depended on an advisory committee that very carefully judged all the applications. She returned to India in 1932 and accepted the post of Professor of Botany at the Maharaja's College of Science, Trivandrum, where she taught for 2 years. Her research career began when she joined the Sugarcane Breeding Institute, Coimbatore, as a geneticist in 1934. The institute was created with the aim of improving the Indian sugarcane plant. At the institute, she worked on sugarcane biology along with T.S. Venkatraman, who had successfully increased the production of sugarcane in the country over the past few years. Ammal's expertise in the field of cytogenetics and her research in polyploidy helped to understand the nature of polyploidy in sugarcane, and she was very instrumental in creating a firm scientific basis for crossing and hybrids and helped in choosing plant varieties for crossbreeding. She worked at the institute till 1939. At that time, the sweetest sugarcane in the world was the Saccharum officinarum variety from Papua New Guinea, and India used to import it from Southeast Asia. By manipulating polyploid cells through cross-breeding of hybrids in the laboratory, Janki was able to create a high-yielding strain of the sugarcane that would thrive in Indian conditions. She did some really epochal work on various intergeneric hybrids such as Saccharum zea, Saccharum erianthus, Saccharum imperata, Saccharum sorghum. Her pioneering work was on the cytogenetics of Saccharum officinarum and interspecific and intergeneric hybrids involving sugarcane and both closely related grass genera and also very distantly related ones such as bambusa. Her research also got published in one of the most renowned journals, Nature. When the pollen of spontaneum fertilized the eggs of officinarum, the products retained the full chromosome complement of officinarum, thus generating a hybrid sugarcane plant which was as sweet as officinarum and had robust stalks as in spontaneum. Success was thus achieved in producing sweeter varieties of Indian sugarcane, and these Coimbatore breeds were so successful that in the first year itself, they increased sugarcane production in Punjab by 50% and were even exported to places like Cuba. Dr. Janki's research also helped analyze the geographical distribution of sugarcane across India and also to establish that the Saccharum spontaneum variety of sugarcane had originated in India.
Her recognition was very, very slow in coming. One of her contemporaries, C.S. Subramaniam, talks about her passion for plants, crop plants, garden plants. I quote from him: plantation crops, medicinal crops, and tribal plants. So she was an original thinker, doing sort of epochal work in intergeneric hybrids, such as Saccharum zea, Saccharum erianthus, Saccharum imperata, Saccharum sorghum. So she was pioneering, right? And she was constantly presenting her work at top conferences, publishing in Nature in 1938, and coming up with the patriarchal establishment of both Western science and Indian science. So here were the top male scientists trying to prevent her work from being published in Nature. And that was the head of the Coimbatore Sugarcane Breeding Institute, who did not send her paper up to Nature because he doubted her cross, right? He doubted the fact that she had this cross. And the same...
Literary people saw her as they think that she was an old saint wearing a brown sari and very simple and humble. Always she will hold a bundle of plants in her hand. Always she is carrying some plants and she is coming, she is running. She never walk. She will always run.
She was an anti-imperialist. So she was challenging the Q paradigm as well. So she was an original and innovative thinker. So in that sense, she was saying we don't have to follow what is being imposed on us from above. Let's always think creatively and originally. So this idea of a critical thinker, right? So when she was saying that we don't need to establish the Q paradigm and the way in which we think about our plants, and said, let's talk about plants much more locally and much more how they are linked, India is linked to Asia and so on. She was thinking very, very differently and in terms of the debate around botany at that time. And I think that whole part of her life needs to be brought out much more, how she was an original thinker, right? So in terms of her research, and she was also very interested in tribal plants, ethnobotany. So she's one of the leading ethnobotanists, right? So about indigenous knowledge, tribal heritage, the fact that India's environmental history draws on tribal knowledge, indigenous knowledge, knowledge of women, right? So this challenges the traditional way in which we understand knowledge, right? So I think those things students should really take away from her, and remember that India's multiple traditions. Yeah, so matrilineal, tribal, indigenous, and India needs to build on those traditions in terms of its in terms of its knowledge, in terms of its botanical heritage, in terms of its heritage in all fields, in order to embrace its multiplicity, right? And its multiple ways of living and being on this earth. And she, I think, represents that. So she goes away immediately to the field, where she then rejuvenates her soul. So she had a very close connection with tribal communities.
Even though she never achieved the acclaim that she deserved in her lifetime, her spirit lives on in many different ways. From the sweetness of India's sugar and the enduring biodiversity of the Silent Valley to Wisley's blooming magnolias, Ammal's work does not just survive, it thrives. Every time you take a spoonful of sugar, it's worth remembering Dr. Janaki Ammal, because her research is what added that extra bit of sweetness.
I hope you all enjoyed and admired the journey of Sugarcane Lady of India. That's Professor Janaki Ammal, whose contribution in botany can never be forgotten. Now let us take a quick journey of RCB facility and its campus. And you are welcome to ask any queries if you have. Please type in your questions in the comment box. Thanks. Please play the video of RCB facility.
Regional Center for Biotechnology is located in a tranquil environment along the Gurugram-Faridabad Expressway. It is an autonomous institute established under auspices of UNESCO by the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. The primary focus of RCB is to provide world-class education, training to create high-quality human resource in biotechnology and conduct innovative research at the interface of multiple disciplines. The infrastructure at RCB has developed at a rapid pace since inception of the institution in 2010, with state-of-the-art research labs, teaching labs, innovative classrooms, central instrumentation facilities, small animal facility, biosafety level 3 facility, a biorepository and state-of-the-art advanced instrumentation facilities like the Advanced Technology Platform Center and a bio-incubator which serves as a reservoir for incubating ideas in the area and help them reach commercialization. There are various areas of research in RCB. The research group under the area titled Cell Biology, Development and Behavior focus on unlocking the secrets of cells, how they divide and how stem cells develop into muscle, in addition to resource for researchers from all over India, and has engaged with institutions such as the European Synchrotron Radiation Facility in France towards this end. RCB is also involved with the UNESCO towards developing policy to ensure sustainable development at the global level and specifically in the Asian region. RCB is a young institute which is growing day by day with excellent opportunities for young people to make a career in the area of biotechnology.
Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed the life journey of Dr. Janki Amal and RCB video. If you have any question, please write in the comment section of YouTube link. So after answering, I would say that I would like to thank Biplab, Chabi and organizing committee and ITRCB for organizing this event. So most importantly, I would like to thank all the audience for joining us. So with this, I would like to conclude this event. Is this fine? Okay, thank you.
So who's asking question? We are live on YouTube. बंद करो यार.